I am Southern Belle from the city, and you're watching hashtag Southern Belle Speaks Sunday. Sorry, the glare in my eyes. Guys, the elephant in the room, I did cut my hair. Maybe I'll just take these off. Yeah, I'm gonna take these off because that's gonna bug me. I will be posting about my hair tomorrow. I'll post a video. I did document the process and everything. So, welcome back to my channel. And, yeah, you will see that tomorrow. But, yeah, it's a shock. I know. I absolutely love it. I'm always looking in the mirror like, oh, she's cute. I still am able to lay my baby hairs down a little bit, so that's cute. But I'm going to be live streaming today as well. I thought that I would try that out since I'm not getting a lot of traffic to these videos. I would see how they do live, but I'm still going to post on here as well. So I'm recording on my laptop over here. And then I am also recording here. So I'm going to be Facebook Live on my laptop just to see how they do as a live video, and I also will try seeing how they do as a pre-recorded video and just posting it on Facebook and on YouTube. So if I'm not looking at you guys, I'm looking over here. But yeah, so we are reading out of Prayers for Freedom from Worry and Anxiety. To talk to you guys about this section in here. This book is really cool because like it's an interactive book, so you can read and write in your own prayers, which is really cool. So this section is dealing with low energy levels, and this is something that I deal with. So I thought that, you know, somebody else might need to hear this. It says, low energy level ranks as one of the highest physical complaints of Americans. Some people blame it on multitasking or adding too much to our daily schedules. Others blame it on poor eating choices. But did you know that just as important as your eating choices is how you eat what you choose? How you eat really matters. Eating quickly or eating while distracted will negatively impact your digestion. Anything that slows down your digestion will decrease your energy as well. Also, while constant multitasking may lead to some experiencing low levels of, one of the most frequent contributors to decreased energy comes from something we forget to do when we get busy: breathing deeply. Sure, we breathe enough to sustain life. I know that is true, or you and I wouldn't be reading these pages right now. But what often we don't do is breathe deeply enough and slowly enough to adequately intake oxygen and deliver it to our cells. Going throughout your day with decreased oxygen in your cells is like trying to drive to work on fumes in your tank. You may sputter around for a mile or two, but you'll eventually come to a stop. However, worrying about low energy levels and what might be causing them, though, is counterproductive. In fact, low energy level is the most frequent manifestation of anxiety. Why is this? When your body feels worried or anxious, adrenaline comes to the rescue to help you fight off whatever danger you may be facing. When that danger is worry or anxiety, the demand for adrenaline can linger. Because there's nothing to trigger an end to the worry, the demand can put too much effort on your adrenaline glands. Just as you get tired after a difficult job or heavy workout, so do your adrenaline glands. They do what you probably do after a workout: shut down and crash. Now, not only can they no longer produce the energy you need, but you will also experience a crash from overusing your limited adrenaline. Have you ever been driving with a car when a car almost pulled out in front of you at a four-way stop or almost hit you? That feeling you have after you realize everything is okay can usually be described as exhaustion. When your body crashes from an adrenaline rush, it is tired. When you worry about many things or even one thing over and over again, your body is in a constant state of adrenaline rush/crash, on top of your adrenal glands being depleted and worn out. What is the antidote for low energy levels? eating healthy foods, increasing certain vitamins, sleeping well but not too long, and exercising are helpful habits. But the most important antidote is to turn your worries and anxieties over to God. When you no longer have to use your physical body and mental energies to combat negative thoughts, fears, concerns, your body will have the access to energy God supplied you to handle the daily experiences of life. That's deep. So, basically, when we constantly worry and we constantly are anxious about things, it feels like we're constantly in a state of fight or flight. So when your body's in a state of fight or flight, like it said, your adrenaline is rushing. But with a person with anxiety, fight or flight happens pretty frequent about things that aren't really life or death. So that's where it gets tricky, and that's where, when you're in constant exhaustion, that's why a lot of times anxiety and depression pair together. And I'm not diagnosed, but it is something that I struggle with, and I'm sure that a lot of people struggle with. That feeling of exhaustion and things like that, oftentimes comes from that adrenaline rush that continues to crash and leave you in a state of exhaustion. So it's just, honestly, it's mind over matter, but it's so difficult to put into practice of trying to give your body more. They use the example of trying to drive on fumes. Basically, you don't have any gas in your tank. So that car, would need fuel. So we need fuel when our body is exhausted. When, and the things that they gave are very good. Exercise, things like that, prayer. Another thing that I do is meditation. I feel, I definitely exercise, and I definitely, try to eat the healthier foods. But one thing that, meditation and yoga are two things that I really need to work on, because sometimes, I don't feel like doing it. It's like so funny because I feel like exercising, which is hardcore, but like, a lot of times I don't feel like slowing down and doing the yoga and the meditation, which is why I started doing the lives. Hi, got mommy. But, like, it's very important that you slow down and you give your body that extra amount of fuel that it needs to get by, and whatever that is for you. It might be journaling, it might be something that, allows you to release that feeling of anxiety, but you need to recharge. Sometimes I always, and usually in my yoga lives with that, we need to recharge over the weekend so that we can have a powerful, productive week on Monday. If we're constantly in that state of panic and we don't recharge those adrenal glands, as they say, that's when the exhaustion is continuous, and that's when, in physical sense, when you exhaust a muscle and you overexhaust it, that's eventually there's a tear and you end up with an injury. That can happen within your mental state and your state of mind, within your body. It may not be the way that you're thinking, but it can happen when you're not careful with what you are putting into yourself. When you're constantly running, you're running off adrenaline, you're constantly worried, you're constantly, afraid, you're constantly working on trying to, just trying to look over it, you're trying to just keep going, and you end up exhausted. Then you have a setback. Then, you go through this period where it's a downward spiral, and now you don't have control over your emotions because, with anything else, when you overwork it, it starts to not work properly. Which it wasn't probably working properly in the first place if we're, feeling these sense of anxiety. But that's when we need to pay more attention to it. That's when we need to give it that extra attention. That's when we need to give it that extra fuel. that's when we need to, as it says, go into prayer, if that's what you're into. So there's a prayer here that I want to read, and I'll leave you guys with that. It says, Lord, you give me the power to faint. To those who have no might, you increase their strength. You are my source, but too often I get in the way of accessing your strength. It is only when I align my thoughts with your truth that I can let go of worry and anxiety. Your word promises me that you will keep me in perfect peace when my mind is focused on you. Isaiah 26:3. So Lord, where do I start? That's a good question. And we often, if you have to ask that, sometimes you have to ask. People say, I don't know what to pray about. Ask him where to start. How do I let go of the things that cause me to be afraid? I start by replacing my thoughts with yours. I start by reading and meditating on your promises. I start by tearing down strongholds in my mind to cause me to be anxious. You are in control. You hold my life and my loved ones in your hands. Period. Period, poo. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It may form, but your word says it will not prosper. You have never let the righteous be forsaken. You have never and will never leave me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I have that tatted on my wrist. That's Philippians 4:13. Christ gives me strength when I have no strength. It is because I am looking up. Christ, it says, when I have no strength, then it is because I am not looking to Christ. Those are two different sentences. Forgive me and help me to turn my gaze from my fear to you in faith. Give me small victories along the way, stones of remembrance that I can look to, knowing that you truly are the supplier of all I need and that your grace is sufficient for me. In my weakness, you make me strong. Help me to meditate on that truth all day. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Amen. That was a good prayer. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook. I usually leave my links tree below. There's links to my social medias. There's also my handles down below if you would like to be my friend. And catch me on Friday for Fitness Friday. Catch me on Yoga and Facebook Live on Saturdays. And catch me on Sundays for #Southern Belle Speaks Sunday.